Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And Rassie Rasmus has broken his silence for the first time actually this year, and spoken about, well, about the Springboks, and spoken about the alignment camp in a very brief but still pretty informative tweet, which I think gives you a bit of a window into exactly how things happen within that Springbok setup and what these alignment camps are and kind of what they mean and what they also don't mean. And I think that's quite important, is that what it means to players is almost as important as what it doesn't mean for players in terms of ruling certain players out, in terms of guarantee other players a chance and stuff like that. So before we go into the tweet and talk about exactly, what it means and how important it is, consider this context going forward when we see other alignment camps or we hear about alignment camp or meetings and stuff like that. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so Rassie Rasmus, who had his first coaches meeting the other day in the hospital where he was recovering from chemical burns. He actually posted some photos of it and didn't look particularly, it looks pretty nasty, to be honest. Hopefully he's on the mend over there. So speaking, in this tweet this morning, he said as follows. He said, "Hi, Hope 24, South Africa, basically, but still South Africa emoji. My man knows what's going on there. Man's searching the emoji, sorting it out. Saying, hi, South Africa, hope 2024 is going well. Guys and ladies, just some info. Remember, an alignment camp does not mean those are the only players who will play for the Springboks this year. Just like in the past, there is a purpose for every camp. Have a lacquer weekend. First of all, you also have a lacquer weekend, Rassie. Love the work. Big fan. In terms of, it doesn't mean that the only players will play for the Springboks. That is a bit of bait. And I wouldn't say a bit of bait, maybe. That is a bit of... that is throwing down the gauntlet. That is saying to all those who didn't make the squad, you are still eligible. You are still on the cards. That is saying to an Achiever Diamani, you can still play for the Springboks this year. That is saying to an Ambrose Pierre, you could still be on the Springbok radar. And it's very important that they continue to be very transparent about this and about the fact that, it's not... the be all and end all, being invited to a Springbok alignment camp. I think it's very important that players understand that, as well as fans, and we always gonna have debates, and we did the debate, and yes, this is important to realize, but I still don't think that doesn't mean you can't have the debate. We had the debate quite a lot, myself and Dan, in our podcast this week, where we talked about, I said I just find it very strange that Chiba Diamani doesn't get involved in these alignment camps. I feel that he's someone who's, so talented, but also, and has obviously got so many different areas which they'd like to try and channel in the right way, which for me would make sense for him to be part of an alignment camp. Whereas, for example, previous players who have been involved in the system, sometimes, leaving them out. I mean, for example, Dion Currie, not part of the alignment camp, whether or not he's involved in the plans or whether he's in the plans for this year, he doesn't need to be there to understand what's going on, for example. Just like overseas-based players don't need to be involved in these alignment camps right now to be able to know what it means to be a Springbok and stuff like that. So there's a certain amount of that as well. I think it was just a bit of important clarity. Again, it just sort of means that, you can read into these alignment camps what you will. I will say that, it's unlikely, there might be one or maybe two players that are not part of these alignment camps that might play for Springboks this year, for example. But I think there's a pretty good chance that none of the players who are not involved in these alignment camps don't play. So, yes, it's not set in stone, but it is still a barometer of where players are. If you want to do a weekly sort of Springbok barometer, this alignment camp would give you your player database really to start sort of using going forward. And I think that'll be nice sort of to use this list of players moving forward into the other rounds of the URC and the Champions Cup. It's kind of sit there and say, okay, cool, right, he's playing, is he ahead of you? And we can start sort of constructing Springbok squads. Which I think we might be able to do. We'll probably start doing a Springbok barometer based on the URC games over the weekend. So let me know which players you think are really the front runners so far of that alignment camp to be a potential Springbok this year. Let me know down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.